My father came to Martha's Vineyard from the British West Indies in the year 1901. There was a sea captain in Vineyard Haven. His name was Madison Edwards, and Madison Edwards used to sail between the Vineyard and Jamaica. And one of his trips, he became ill over there, and my father was a chaplain in a seaport area there. And when Captain Edwards became ill, my father assisted him. And his becoming ill brought he and my father together for a friendship that lasted many, many years. So Captain Madison Edwards provided work for my father at the Seaman's Bethel in Vineyard Haven. Then after a while, my father became, they called him an evangelist at a mission called the Oakland Mission in Oak Bluffs. And that particular mission was run by a Susan Bradley to help all the Portuguese people that had come from Portugal to the island in learning to speak English and simple math. Many of the essential things that they would have to know to get along on Martha's Vineyard. Then after Susan Bradley died in 1907, my father at the same location founded Bradley Memorial Church. He led that congregation, or that church, for 46 years. My father was way ahead of his time, for he believed in attracting the best. In the summertime, he invited clergy people of renown to occupy the pulpit during the summertime. He was a well-respected man. He would help people regardless of their race or color. For the most part, the people of color would go to the Bradley Memorial Church. We also had people of the white race. Many of the people that did come at that time, they were people that had come there to work and make a living during the summertime. And Sunday was always their day off, so they were able to go to the Sunday evening service. Then we also had the vacation people that would come and participate in the Sunday evening service. This particular person, who was a member of the school committee, passed away while in office. The other two members of the school committee elected my father to fill the temporary position. And they said, when voting comes up, you will have to run for that office if you want to stay in that position. And when the election came, my father took a terrible beating. It was said that if Mr. Denniston gets on the school committee, we'll have black school teachers. Can you imagine a black school teacher? Thank God I lived in long enough to see a black superintendent, and they've had quite a few outstanding black teachers. But that was the extent of the feeling. I guess you can call it ignorance. We will have black school teachers. God forbid. As you know, Washington, D.C. was a prejudiced city. People of my color, for many years, were not allowed to stay in the hotels or to go in the restaurants. The senior class of the island schools would always go to Washington after they graduated or just before. People of color stayed home because they knew they would be separated from their class. When it came my turn to go in 1931, I think I shook them up. I said, I am going to Washington with my class. So they said, okay, what the heck could they say? We raised the money together. I was a part of the class. So I did go to Washington, and by nighttime, I was separated from my class. Oh, when I got to New York, Superintendent Martin said, now, Dean, you will have to go to Harlem. So I said, okay. And then I thought, I went back into his room, and he was in the shower. I knocked on the door. I said, Mr. Martin, we're in New York. This is the greatest city in the world. I'm not going to Harlem. I think that's the first time I ever really spoken for myself. And I get angry even now to think that that man was willing to send a 17-year-old boy up to Harlem, a place which he had never been to himself. So he said, okay. So they put a cot in the room with Becker and Robert Hughes. But I haven't quite forgiven him for trying to shuffle me off to to Harlem. You can't go through your life moaning and groaning. You make the best. You grab the bull by the horn and you throw him. You don't ask the bull for his credentials. You say, come here, bull. And you do your best to overcome the bull. Sometimes you have to throw the bull. I can still throw a little bull, although there's no bull.